Hello and welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic for another Sudoku episode, and this one is on an arrow and killer Sudoku by Dying Flutchman, and I've really enjoyed the 3 or 4 puzzles by Dying Flutchman I've done before, so I'm looking forward to that. Now, just to check on Patreon, we might be about to release, or just have released by now perhaps, my Times Crossword Monthly Solve. I don't think that's gone up yet this month, so that'll be interesting, hopefully, for crossword lovers. Of course, though, big event coming up on Patreon is our monthly reward in a couple of days. We've got a puzzle planned for that. And, of course, don't forget our Kickstarter, just in case we haven't reminded you enough about it, although I'm sure we have. Anyway, let's have a look at this puzzle. Now, if you know either the variants arrow or killer, there's nothing unusual going on here. On the arrows, the numbers on an arrow add up to the number in the circle. Now, note that there are some diagonal arrows here, so they could include repeated numbers. Those could both be 1s adding up to 2, say. In the killer cages, you can't have repeats, but you couldn't in these 4 killer cages anyway, because they're each confined to a box, and they have to, each of them has to add up to the number given, and normal Sudoku rules apply. Give it a try on the link below the video. I believe it's a really good puzzle according to the people on Discord who have tried it, where it's been posted for a week or 2, and I'm looking forward to giving it a go now. So let's get cracking. There's only 6 given numbers, but we're virtually given another one if we consider the fact that all of these arrows are 2 cells long at least, and therefore none of them can contain a 9. And in the central box, if you ask yourself the question, where can 9 go, there is only one answer. It's clearly got to be in the middle, and in fact all the arrows are pointing at it, it seems. Now, how does that help us? Well, we've got this 8 cage, 4 and 3 in the same column, so that's clearly made up of 1, 2 and 5, and the 10 cage has a 2 and 3 in the row, so that's 1, 4 and 5. The other 3 minimal digits add up to 10. Unfortunately, this kind of logic doesn't let us fill the 15 or the 20 cage. Okay, but let's have another look at these arrows. Again, we've got to use all the numbers once each in the central box. Another astonishing fact from Cracking the Cryptic. But where does 8 go, say? That's the next highest number. Oh, yeah, it can't go here, here, or here, because that would put an impossible Sudoku number in one of those cells. And I love this. It can't go here, 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 or here. Why can't 8 go there? Because it would have to go with a 1, the minimum number, to give a 9. And we now know that 9 can't be in any of those cells because of where it's positioned here. So 8 has to be here. And this isn't a 1 and 1 equals 2 arrow. It's an 8 and 1 equals 9. And that's a nice start. Can we do the same with 7? Yeah, interestingly, 7 can't go here because it would either have to add with a 1 to make 8, and that's not possible because of that 1, or with a 2 to make 9, and that's not possible because of that 9 that we've just put in. And the same applies here. That can't be a 7. Oh, well, I mean, there's a 2 there as well, so that's just not possible. It can't be here because that can't be 9 because of that 9. And it can't be here and here. It looks like these 2 cells are still possible. In fact, one of them has to be right. And therefore, there has to be an 8 in one of these 2 cells. Wherever the 7 is here, it's going to go with a 1 to make an 8 because you can't have a 9 in that row and column. That's quite interesting because it's going to mean that those 2 cells, one of them contains an 8 and they're both looking here. So that can't be an 8. I don't know. I think that's sort of interesting. Maybe it's not. In fact, it's still got a lot of possibilities. I'm going to fill them in just in case it matters later on that that can't be an 8. But that's a shame. Once we've gone down from 7, I don't think 6 is going to be anything like as useful. It can't be there, admittedly, because that would blow out this number. But, well, and it can't be here, because it would have to go with a 1 or a 2 to not reach 9, and that can't happen. But it could go anywhere else, so that's not all that helpful. Oh, now we've got a bit of Sudoku. 2 and 3 down here mean that 2 and 3 are in this row, and this can't be 2. I was going to say or 3. It can't be 2 because those can't both be 1s, obviously. But actually it could be a 3 if that was a 1 and this was a 2. No, I don't think it can. Because if you had 3, 1 and 2 on that arrow and a 9 there, what are you going to put on this arrow? You need 2 numbers that are more than 3 to add to something that's less than 9, and that does not happen. So that's not a 3 either. So now 3 and 2, that's weird, are a pair there. 9 must be in one of these cells because of the 9 there, and it can't be in one of those two. This is 8, 7 or 6. But that still leaves quite a lot of possibilities between 1 and 7 there, which is everything. Oh, that's not quite as helpful as I'd expected. How about this one? This seems a bit more restricted. Right, 4 here. The total has to be somewhere between 5 and 8, therefore. This could be anything from 1 to 4. I don't see why not. Oh, that's frustrating. Okay, what else can we learn? 2 is there, and 2's in one of those cells. So 2 in box 1 is in one of those two. Ah, and 2 in box 3. I don't know where it is, but I know it's not there. So 2 in row 2, which now can't be in those 3 cells or that one, has to be along here. It can't be in the circle because that would need 2 1s. Ah, and now we've got a sort of X-wing of 2's. And that means that 2 in column 5 has to be in one of these 2 cells. Oh, do we know which one? Do we? Heck, no. That could still be 2, 4, 6 or 2, 5, 7, so that's not ruling anything out. Oh, I thought that was something. Oh, this can't be 2 now, so this can't be 6. Oh, what about this loose arrow down here? Ah, look, it can't have a 2, 3 or 4 either on it or in its circle. Oh yeah, okay, so if you added 2 numbers more than 4, you would ruin it. So one of these numbers must be a 1. So then we get a 1 in one of these cells in column 8. And that peters out as well. This 15's not very restricted. I mean, I suppose 3, 4, 8, 3, 5, 7 or 4, 5, 6 are the 3 possibilities there. Is there some other number that's heavily restricted in the middle? Okay, where does 7 go? If 7 went here, you'd have 1, 8. This would have to be the 2. If 7 went here instead, then you'd have to have 1, 8. Now on this arrow, you've used up 9, 8, 7 and 1 in the row. That's going to have to be two numbers adding up to nothing, something that's not more than 6. So it's going to be 2 and 3 or 2 and 4, and that is not possible because neither of those cells can be a 2. That one because of that 2, and that one because we've restricted 2 in the central box to one of those. So this isn't the 7. That can't be 718, or it would make this arrow impossible. So we get rid of the 7. That places this 7 and 1 and 8. It places the 2 in the central box, which similarly now is adding to either 3 or 4 to make 5 or 6. And we can see it's not adding to 4, so that's adding to 3. Aha! And now we are cooking with gasoline. 9 and 7, let's get rid of that. So 4 to finish the column. The 3 is in the 20 cage, so that's 9 and 8 next to it. 8 there tells us which way around they go. That fixes 9 and 7. 7's in one of those cells. That's stopping. Right, this can't be 5 because of the 5 we placed here. So this isn't 1. Now this must be heavily restricted now. Can't be 5 because we can't have a 2 here. And it's not at all restricted beyond that. Flute. 7, 8, 9, 2. That could be 1, 3, 4, or 5. Can't be 1 because that would be 3. 3, 4, or 5, I reckon that can be, making this one 5, 6, or 7. The other numbers are either used in the middle or they would cause an impossibility here. Oh, come on. This is so clever how this is gradually unwinding. That can't be a 2 now. This thing, it's going to add up to 6, 7, 8, or 9. I can't rule it down more than that. Look at this crazy naked single. Madness. 4, 1, 5, 1. You've got to remember this is a 1, 2, 5 triple. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 all used there. 6, 7, 9 used here. We can name that cell. It must be an 8. That's brilliant. This is 1 or 5 now. If it was a 5, we'd have 5, 1, 6, 7, 4, 9, 8. That is just possible. Okay, this is 4 or 5. There's a 1 in the column. This I can't decide. 4 or 5 there. So this is not 4, 5, 6, and therefore has a 3 in. It's either 3, 4, 8 or 3, 5, 7. But that 3 and that 3 place a 3 up here. I have a feeling this is going to be useless in a minute, but for now it carries on. That's the only place in row 2. And then one of these is a 3. Can't be... Actually, it could be there. 3, 2, 1. No, it can't be there for the same sort of reason we observed earlier. If that was 3, 2, 1, this arrow just can't be fulfilled. But that didn't actually keep going. I didn't think it would. 4, 6, 7, 9. So let's fill in the candidates. 1, 3, 4, or 6. Not quite enough information. 1 could still go in any of those cells. I can't see how to curtail that. 8 there, 8 there. So 8's in one of these cells, which actually means this can't be a 9. because then it would go 9, 1, 8, and 8 would have to be in 2 cells at the same time. So 9 in this box, oh, we can decide where it is. That one is ruling out those. It can't be there or there, and it can't be on the arrow, so that has to be 9. Which puts a 9 up here. This can't be 9, which takes 6 out of here, and now 6 is on one of these arrows. And surely that's going to be useful. It must go with a 1 or a 2, so its total isn't 9. And it can't therefore go in this cell. Actually, I worked that out earlier. So 6 goes here with a 1 or a 2, not a 5, to give us 7 or 8. And we get a 7-8 pair in the column. And that rules out 7, gradually whittling this down. Wow, this is mad. Now, what can this be? This can be 1, 3, 4, or 5. I mean, all the possibilities left in the box. So 6 has to be up here somewhere. Don't know much about where 1... Oh yes, hang on. 1 can't be there. That 1 says it can't be there. So 1 is in a pair here with the 2. Aha! And that really is telling, because that fixes the 6 and the 7 in the box. Surely that helps now. 1, 5, 2, 3, 9, 4. That's 6 or 7. This could be any of 6, 7, or 8. But remember, this is 15. So it's either 3, 5, 7, in which case we'd have a 6, 8 pair up here, or it's 3, 4, 8, which would make this cell unfillable. So it's 3, 5, 7. That becomes 4. This is a 6, 8 pair, so 8 there, 6 there, that fixes these two. 7, 8 there is a double on the arrow, pair of 4s. This can't be 4, so this is now 5 or 7. 8, 6, 1, 9, 4, 3. I mean, there's probably things popping out now. This can't be 4. Oh, surely. Yes, there's a 1, 2, 3 triple there. Oh yes, that 4, sorry, has decided the 5, 4 pair there. So one of those is 5. Oh, it could still be that. Ah, that 8, sorry, that's resolved this 7. So 7, 1, 6. So that's not a 1. It now can't go with a 7. So it must be a 3, 5 pair in one order or the other, making an 8 there. We can fill in 2 and 4 in the row. That 4 gives us a 4 here. 1. That does 2 and 1. Now we are finishing boxes 2 and 8. That's not a 4. This is clever. Right, yes, that triple's been fully resolved. 6 and 9 to go in the column. They're easy enough now. 1, 5, or 7 there. Surely that arrow is going to give up in a moment. Right, that's not a 7. So 7 in this cage is there. 1 is now here because it can't be here. 4 must be there. 6 and 9 are there. This is not 6. And it can't be 7 now that 6 can't be on the arrow. So it is 8, 1, 7. They must go like that. That's a 5, which fixes the middle box for good and all. 5 up here. We've got a 2 and 7 to place in box 3. And we are finishing off now. Thank goodness. What an enjoyable ride this one's been. I mean, really interesting use of the arrows together with the few killer cages provided, that the arrows really worked very well together there. An excellent example of what you can do with arrow Sudoku. So that 5 has fixed the 1, 5 at the top. We've got 3 and 6 to go here, 9 and 6 to go here, one last number to fill in, and that is the solution to Diane Flutchman's Arrow Killer Sudoku. Hope you had a go at that, because that was fun. Thanks very much for watching. Do check out the Patreon content over the next couple of days, and hope to see you soon on Cracking the Cryptic. Bye for now.